Residents of Bromwell Street started receiving eviction notices in 2014 after the cottages in the sought-after suburb were sold. Bromwell residents would have been homeless. Their only option would have been to be relocated as part of the City of Cape Town emergency housing program far away from the CBD, away from their community, work, schools and other amenities. Housing activist organisation and law centre Ndifuna Ukwazi came on board in 2017. On behalf of 8 families and 2 single people, the organisation approached the court challenging the city's emergency housing program and its implementation. The city contended that there was no land available in the city for the Bromwell residents and also highlighted the high cost of setting up an emergency temporary accommodation in the city bowl. In 2021, the court ruled in favour of the Bromwell Street residents.
We are so happy for this victory, not only for us, but for what it means for everybody and how people can stand up for themselves, because this is an example that something can be done. We understand that this is not our property, it's the hub's property, and we feel for them. But as us as evictees need to be strong about it because we have nowhere to go.
The victory was, however, short-lived. The Supreme Court of Appeal later overturned the High Court ruling, saying that a court could not dictate to the city how it spends its funds on housing programs. Ndifuna Ukwazi then approached the Constitutional Court. The Apex Court found that the city's temporary emergency accommodation policy is unconstitutional.
Well, I think the Constitutional Court said it best when it said that the housing situation in the Western Cape has always been one which is desperate, and there has not been significant change in the housing conditions in the Western Cape and much of South Africa as a whole, decades after Grootboom and the new constitutional order. It highlighted that it is untenable for municipalities to conduct themselves in a manner that preserves spatial inequalities and reinforces patterns of social exclusion. And specifically in respect of the City of Cape Town, indicated that its broader vision of spatial transformation appears to be thoroughly misguided and ill-conceived.
The municipality says it's not possible to always place evicted residents in emergency accommodation in the area where they're evicted from. It says this ruling is specific to this case, but that it will abide by the court's direction to develop a constitutional temporary emergency accommodation policy within 6 months.
We breathed a big sigh of relief because the court said, in fact, you do not have a right in South Africa to alternative accommodation where you live. It is not a precedent-setting case. But they also said that in this case, we could have at least made an effort to try and accommodate people in the area of their choice, and that we should have done that, and that is what they have directed us to do, and that is what we will do.
While Bromwell residents cannot be evicted until such time that the city provides them with temporary emergency accommodation as close as possible to where they are living or in the inner city, the municipality cannot at this stage say how soon such accommodation will be made available. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.